This is the APC Dark Master. This is a third-party figure that is a copy of Transformers Prime Megatron. Hey everyone, MechaZ here, your favorite dissociating and mentally ill YouTuber, back at it again with another Transformers review. Wow, can you believe that? Thank you to the XIEST store for sending this to me. I'm sorry I'm reviewing it a bit late. The box art doesn't look too bad, I don't have much to say. He's got the Dark Star Saber on one side, and this figure does come with that, and it looks really cool. You got Megan on the other side, top fairly simplistic. At the bottom, you get a nice silhouette of Megan. I do think the box art of their initial release of this figure looked much better. Now let's open them up. I want to die. Not today. So here's iCarly, and the figure itself looks absolutely amazing. He is one big sexy robot. He is an upscaled version of the original Transformers Prime Megatron, and this is APC's second version of this Megatron. Their initial version had a silver metallic paint job, which I think looks much better than this gray. Like, the entire body was silver instead of gray, so like, why isn't this like that? But that does also mean no paint chipping. You do get some of that metallic silver on the shoulder pieces and the hands.
I sure wish the whole thing was silver though.
He is also missing the Decepticon insignia because this is a third-party figure. As always though, the XIEST store does give you stickers. The lack of paint isn't the only difference on this figure. They did modify the figure to make it a little bit better. Here's a screenshot of all the things. I'm not reading any of that. Now this has jumped up to be my most favorite Megatron figure that I own, which I don't own a lot of actually, but he's still up there. Once again, if you do want him, link in the description below, and make sure to use code MECHA at the XIEST store. It really helps me out a lot. I want to start off by taking a look at the head sculpt. This looks amazing. The face on him looks absolutely menacing. It just looks so great. The paint job on it is done really well. The red eyes make him look very evil. He's even got a bit of white inside his eyes. I love the sharp teeth on his mouth. He looks like he could just like gobble me up and eat me. Anyways, and the rest of the head sculpt is done pretty well. You did get more of that silver paint over here and some nice purples on the side. I did kind of scuff the figure a bit, so that's unfortunate. More of that silver paint over here. Once again, I wish it was all over the figure. Shoulder pieces looking really nice with some more purple down on the arms, and the hand sculpt looking really dynamic, kind of like claws. They are a bit pointy, so be careful. The rest of the sculpt on the body looks really good. Down over to the legs, some more nice purple and silver, and the rest of the legs just looking really cool with this purple section at the back. The sculpt work looking really great. Kind of reminds me of G1 Megatron's legs a little bit. These seams on the legs are pretty noticeable, but they do split open for the transformation, so I can't really complain there. And some metallic silver on the feet. Also, let's make sure this is tabbed in all the way so the figure doesn't flop around. Turn the figure over to the back. He doesn't really have much of a backpack. It does compact down pretty well. This part can be a little loose, which is kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. Now, this section does have a spot for some weapon storage. It can be kind of tricky to get it on there though. And we can rotate this, and that does look pretty cool. However, we will need to take this off for the transformation, which we will get to after we take a look at the accessories. First, let's take a look at the Dark Star Saber. This looks really cool. Even though it's only two colors, the purple on here is done really well. The sculpt work is done really cool. I love the jaggedy look on the blade and the handle, which is a simple black color, but still looks really sick. This part should be able to pop off. It's a little tight, but with that, it should make it easier for him to hold the sword, and he looks pretty badass with that. You also get his fusion cannon. The purple on here looks really cool. As you can see, there's an on-off switch. I don't have batteries for the LEDs, unfortunately, but I do love the way this looks. This attaches on his left arm, and with that, he's looking pretty sick.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Why throw away your life so recklessly?
That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
Lastly, you get two blades. These are pretty simple looking, not a whole lot to them, and they'll go on each of his arms. And once again, I think it looks great on him. This is my first APC Transformers Prime figure. They do have several other figures out there, and I kind of want more of them now because this one is really great. They have RC, Optimus Prime, Black Arachnia, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and the price range for these is really good. I did have a bit of trouble with the transformation. To be fair, I'm also an idiot. We'll get to that later though. Now let's take a look at the articulation. The head can move up and down. You do get a head tilt. The head can move left and right. This arm can move out all the way over there. A full 360 arm rotation, bicep rotation, as well as an elbow bend over here. And then you get another bend over here. Some hand rotation, legs can move forward, a knee bend, legs can move out to the side, and you can bring them back. Leg rotation, feet can move up and down, and there's no foot pivot, but you can kind of pop this out to simulate one. And yeah, he has a pretty sick robot mode. So he is pretty big. Here he is next to Ultimate Optimus Prime, who is about a Voyager class scale figure. Then here he is next to Megatron, and Megatron. Megatron, and Predaking, the only other Transformers Prime figure that I own. Now onto the transformation. He does come with instructions that go from robot mode to vehicle mode, as well as vehicle mode to robot mode, always appreciated, but the diagrams do appear to be a bit small. The first thing the instructions say to do is to bring this section down, but that's kind of hard to do if you don't move these pieces out of the way, and that's kind of hard to do if you don't move the arms out of the way. So we're gonna start by moving the arms back just like that. That way we can bring this down just like so. Same with this one. These can be a bit tight, so some force will need to be, please goddamn. There we go. Now we can finally take that section. God damn. Go ahead and hinge it down. Now we can bring these sections out just a little bit. Same here, as you can see, it's kind of in there. So we'll just pull it out. Then we'll rotate this section, make sure his head is straight, and then we can bring this up right on top of his head. Let me adjust that. Next, we'll turn the figure over. We're gonna hinge in this arm, if it'll let me. You really do kind of need to fight with this figure sometimes. Next, we'll rotate the arm and then fold it in like that. Same with this side. Go ahead and do all that. Bring it in. Now we can tab this section in, and this can be really tricky to do at times. So this is what this section needs to be like at this point. I know that might have been a bit confusing to watch. I do apologize. All right, next we're gonna untab the legs, bring these pieces up to the front, make sure they're secured in place, spread out the legs like so, bend the knee and just move this foot piece out of the way for now. Rotate the legs to where they look like this. Also, if you haven't already, make sure these parts of the shoulders are down. Split the legs in half like so. Same with this one, and it can be a little bit difficult to do. My hands are so oily. So now we can bring in the legs. This section needs to tap into here, and then this part needs to tap into there. But if I'm being honest, no one's gonna know if you don't tap this section in. You can be a little naughty about it. First, I like to focus on this part and then move over to this underside. Same with this. Ow, fuck. This figure has some sharp points, so be careful. And then we get that in there. Now we're almost done. We're gonna rotate this and get it to tap into there. Same over here. And it seems like this section has undone itself, and you know what? We're just gonna leave it like that. Right? That's how it's gonna be. Now we can take these bits out on both sides of the wings. Make sure this is about as straight as you can get it. It is supposed to be angled down a bit. Now the instructions say to have the feet something like this, as you can see right there. Let me know in the comments if that is accurate though. For now, we're just gonna go with what the instructions say and move on with our lives. That goth girl never loved you. And here is the final vehicle mode for Megatron. Not really, we gotta put the fusion cannon on. Also, we need to make sure these pieces are tabbed in like that. And there is the final vehicle mode for this Megatron figure. The head sticking out is show accurate. I do like the vents on the side. This thing does have an impressive wingspan. I do like the claws at the end. It's hard to get it to fit all on camera. Let's zoom out a bit so we can see the whole figure. The design of it is pretty cool. It is a copy of the original though. I will say I did struggle with the transformation a little bit. I felt like I had to fight with some parts. Transforming things on camera can be a bit difficult sometimes. The vehicle mode is pretty menacing and seems accurate to the show. From underneath, it doesn't look too great, but that's how most jet modes are. Other than that, I literally do not know what else to say about the jet mode, like at all. I think both the robot mode and vehicle modes are pretty good. I think the robot mode looks the best, and there's not much else I can say, but it's a good figure. If you enjoyed this video, check out this other video, and a big thank you to all my patrons who support me on Patreon.